In today's video, we're going to check out the hardware assigned options within the GT-1000. Let's go. Hey, hope you're doing well. So all of these hardware assigned options are sort of things that you don't necessarily think about until you need them. So for example, calibrating the expression pedal. We'll get to that one in a moment. So let's just go into our menu. Now, this is the one here I'm talking about, hardware settings. So first of all, we're going to assign all these knobs along here to a different parameter. So in my situation, I have knobs 1, 2, and 3 assigned to amp number 1. I have the bass, the middle, and treble. Because realistically, when you go from room to room, that's the sort of thing you're going to be wanting to reach for. So if you save your amp block to one of your stomp boxes, you can get in there and it tweaks across the board and it's done nice and easy. Number 4 here, I've adjusted to the master level of the patch. I think that's pretty obvious why you would need to get to that one. Number 5, I've assigned to the master BPM. Now I've done that for when I'm jamming. It's just nice and easy to get in there and tweak that one to exactly the right BPM that I'm playing at. And knob number 6 is patch select. Same thing here. If I need to, I can just reach for that and I can scroll through like for videos and for when I'm jamming as well. But all of these are completely assignable. You can see here all of the options that you have. So you can assign this to whatever you want to. My opinion of these is that you want to assign them to something that's going to help you the most. And this is why I have those ones laid out the way I have them. And if you scroll across to page number 2, you can lock these knobs. And basically when you come out and you go to your main screen, these values won't move because the knobs are locked. That's literally how easy that is, and they stay like that. You don't have to write it. Coming back out, the next one along is the amp control option. Now it gives you 3 different options in here. You got latch, pulse, or invert. We have these 3 options because different amplifiers use different electronic signals to trigger foot switching. So if you don't know which one your amp uses, it's best to have a look in the manual of your amp. To do this, you come straight out of the amp control 1 or 2, straight out of the back of the unit. You need to use a TRS cable, which is the one with the 2 little rings on it. And with this, you can of course change channels on your amp. So depending on the amp that you have, you can change from the clean to the crunch to the whatever other channel that you've got. You can engage the effects loop, that sort of thing. To expand upon this just quickly, if you want to use the GT-1000 as a per patch sort of thing, you come into your effects, you want to scroll all the way across to the master block, and here you've got amp control 1 and 2, and you can toggle that on or off. Remember, of course, if you're doing this, and I'm assuming you understand if you are doing this, you do need to turn off the amp block and the cabinet block that are in the GT-1000. If you want to use your GT-1000 as one master patch where you've just got the one patch and a whole bunch of effects, and you want to be able to trigger the amp control on and off, you do need to come into your assigns. So for example, I'll come down to this free block, go into here. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, you've got amp control, and you can choose either 1 or 2, meaning amp control 1 or amp control 2. Select that. And here, of course, you can select the source, so you can assign it to whatever button you want it to. It can be moment or toggle. You can set a minimum and a maximum, and that's that one, nice and simple. Next one along is pretty funky. This is the expression hold. As you can see, I've just got them all set to on. That's how it came at default. You can turn it obviously on or off. So what this means is, for example, if you have the expression pedal assigned to a volume, if you adjust the level of that expression pedal to say 50 on one patch, when you change patches, that volume is going to carry across into the next patch and the volume be set at 50, which is pretty cool. Same thing applies to the wah. If you're playing in one patch and you're using the wah, when the patch changes, the wah will stay engaged and will be at the amount that your foot is currently at within that wah. The volume of the patch will be at whatever you've set it. That one is extremely useful if you're using external commands to change the patches on your GT-1000. You engage the wah like you're using a wah normally, and then it changes from patch to patch and you still have to turn it on and off. That's pretty cool, I like that. Next one along is the ground lift. Obviously, if you get some external noise from dirty power or something like that, come in here and adjust the ground lift to the appropriate setting when the noise disappears. I'm not going to go through and explain each one, but you can read this little thing right here, press pause, take a screenshot if you need to, and that's that. Next one along is calibration, and that applies to calibrating your expression pedal, which is number 5, and it literally walks you through it. So at the moment, set pedal to minimum, press right, press metal to maximum, press right. And now it prompts you to adjust the threshold of how much pressure you need to apply when you press down to engage that expression 1 switch. I have mine set at 5. I found that a comfortable level. It's much like when you have to press a wah to turn that on and off. If you turn it all the way down to 1, you don't need a lot of pressure at all. That turns it on and off. But if you adjust it to 10, whoop, how high does it go? 16. That's a good stomp there. I can't do that with my hand. The expression pedal 1 doesn't click when you engage the switch, so I found 5 to be a comfortable level that wasn't too hard or wasn't too light. And then press right. And that job is completed. Rock on. And the last one on the list is other. In here we have auto off, so after 10 hours, the device will turn itself off. LCD contrast, obviously brightens and dulls the brightness of your screen. LED luminance, now that one relates to how bright the colors here are above your buttons. Demo mode, if you have that on, the demo screen appears in the display when no operation is being performed. Nothing's happening right now. Now I don't know how long that takes to kick in. I just waited about 3 minutes there and it didn't come on, but that's all right. And then we have Bluetooth on and off, obviously, and you can give yourself a Bluetooth ID as well if you need to. There we go, that is the hardware settings in the GT-1000. Now remember, of course, these do apply across to the GT-1000 core as well. Thanks so much for watching, stay tuned, see you next time.